Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. So, Bernadette, that's how you say your name?
Correct.
Okay. How are you doing? What brings you in to the office today?
I needed to talk to someone about my depression.
Yeah. Well, how do you know you have depression?
I've had it before.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So, what is it something that just was brought on or something that it hasn't gone away? Like what?
I think triggered last year during the summertime. And then I was hesitant to get on medication, and I got on the medication, so it was kind of balancing it out for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was doing good, and then I just went through a few things just all at once, and it just blew it up. Like, blew it up way, like, worse than what it was before.
All right. So, is that the first time that you were on medication?
No. I was on medication over 20 years ago for it.
Was it the same medication?
The same medication, and I always stuck with that medication because I felt like it worked for me. Then I stopped, everything was good. Then I went through some stuff, like when my brother was murdered, I went through some that and stuff like that. And then I lost my grandmother, my father, all together, like within years. Okay. So the depression was kind of on and off, but I wasn't medicating myself. I didn't medicate myself till I got into a very abusive, toxic relationship.
Okay. So you've talked in the short time we've been here, honey. You've talked about a lot of different stuff. So
there is a lot of different stuff.
But that's okay. That's life. Life is an adventure, right? We gotta see where we are. So the purpose of this visit, I know you called in because you wanted to initiate services or to see if you qualify for services. So the first thing that needs to happen, you already did, right? You called in. You scheduled this intake. Do you know what an intake appointment is?
I'm assuming I come in here and you'll ask me questions and get a feel of what's going on with me.
That's what it is. So the first part of this is a little bit of me asking you some stuff, and then I want to touch base on all the things that you were just talking about. All right. So let's start like this. So your name, your full name. So you said Bernadette
Saldana.
Okay. And do you reside in the area, outside of the area?
No, I reside here in Massachusetts.
Okay, Massachusetts. Now, the address that I have on file, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. The phone number, same thing?
Correct.
Okay. So, okay, you're interested in the outpatient services, meeting with someone. What does your availability look like?
For the outpatient?
Yeah.
It's flexible right now. Right now, because I'm not working.
Yeah.
So, time and days I can work with.
Okay. So, in terms of what you think you need, do you think, after we finish this whole process, would you like to meet with someone on a weekly basis, bi-weekly basis,
No, I'd
monthly
rather
basis?
do weekly basis.
Weekly basis for right now? Okay. Do you have an email address?
Yes.
Okay. Give me your email address. Is it the 123@samsclub.com?
That's correct.
Okay. Great. Now your health insurance. What do you have for health insurance?
Well, I didn't have any health insurance. I just got approved today for the Mass Help, so I'm just waiting on that.
How do you know you got approved?
Well, I went today to the office, and they had a block on it saying that I wasn't a citizen of the United States.
Were you born here?
Yeah, I was born in the United States.
Okay.
So they put the unblock. So now she said it will kick in like 2 to 3 hours. So I have to call her in a little while, and just like somewhere before 4, because she leaves at 5, just to make sure everything went through.
Did they request any paperwork from you?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, just so you know, here at the office, Rachel, she's in the other room. She helps with all those things. So in the event you have some issues with stuff, or if you need to send paperwork or anything like that, she can help you with that. She can fax things over, make copies. So, I'll have her check if you want after our session.
Yes, please.
She can see just where we are with that, okay?
I appreciate it.
All right. What is your birthday?
4277.
Okay. And how did you hear about this agency?
I was referred by a friend of mine.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about your medical history.
Oh, girl.
So, currently, are you diagnosed with anything? I mean, you talked a little bit about, I heard you say something about a surgery. You talked about depression in the past, so I'm just curious.
I suffer from depression, chronic asthma.
Okay, so depression, chronic asthma.
High blood pressure.
High blood pressure.
And the nose surgery is from sinusitis.
Okay.
Due to the asthma and stuff. The surgery was done last week.
How do you feel from that?
I feel good a little breathing, but I'm still like coughing up blood and it's coming out through my nose and stuff like that. I have an appointment with the doctor on Thursday to see if he's clearing
The
me.
surgeon?
Yes.
That's good. Now, do you have a primary care doctor?
Yes, I do.
And who is that?
Dr.
Is it Dr. Coke? Do you still
Yes.
see Dr. Coke? Everybody sees Dr. Coke. He's wonderful.
He is.
He's wonderful.
He is. I like him.
He's been around for a very long time.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm happy you connect with him. What did he have to say about? Was he the one that recommended you for the surgery?
He was the one that recommended. Well, I had a friend that was going to see him because I was looking for a doctor. I wasn't happy with the doctor I was seeing. They recommended to him, and then he was. I mentioned how a friend recommended me to this agency, and he was like, "Yeah, I think that agency will benefit you. Go check him out." Because I was doing like therapy sessions with him, which I know he doesn't specialize in that. So
was he the one that gave you your?
he put me on the medication.
Okay. Now you said that you really like Celexa. You said.
Just Alexa.
How many milligrams are you taking of that?
I'm on the 40 milligram.
Under?
No, I'm on 40
Okay.
milligrams.
How many times you take that?
Once a day. I was on 20.
Okay.
And then we went up to 40, and we left it at that because everything was going so good. And then when my doctor left, and I had found a new doctor, we were talking about if we went up on the dose, and I was like, no, let's just keep me on the 40 instead of to go to the 80. I didn't know that I was gonna go through all this shit all at once.
Mm-hmm.
But I was home thinking about it because I don't know if I want to go up on the meds or it's just that I'm just going through something right now,
Mm-hmm.
and my depression is so bad. And then once everything gets fixed, I'll be okay again.
Well, tell me, what does depression look like for you at your worst? When you were in your deepest depression, what did that look like?
My deepest depression is not getting out of bed,
Okay.
not wanting to take a bath, brush my hair, brush my teeth, and
How long did that last when you went through that?
I have I have good days and I have bad days. My bad day was, today is Tuesday. My bad day like that was Sunday. I've been getting up, doing things around the house.
You
and
pushing
stuff like
yourself.
that. I'm actually pushing myself.
But what I mean, like in the past, right? Because how old are you?
42.
42. Okay, so in the 42 years of life, would you say was there ever a time where you were at your lowest in terms of
I think
depression?
my lowest was when my parents died, but that's just coming from grief, and you go through many stages of grief.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. All right. So, okay, so if I got this right, you have the high blood pressure currently.
mhm,
You have chronic asthma. You're
Mhm.
taking Celexa for your depression.
mhm.
That was prescribed to you by Dr. Coke. Any other medical problems that you have? You had the sinusitis stuff, but that's when you had the surgery.
Mhm.
Have you been hospitalized at any point in your 42 years of life
Yeah, I've been hospitalized a few times for my asthma.
for asthma?
Mhm.
And all related to asthma?
All related to asthma, yeah, nothing
Okay.
else.
So would you, I mean, out here from our office, you know, I know that you have a great connection with Dr. Coke, but I just want you to know that we also have a provider here and a psychiatrist
Okay.
who could help if you're interested in just evaluating your meds, seeing what works, what doesn't work, maybe just exploring your options if you want to try something else. Where I know you keep saying that you're really thinking that you may need to increase maybe to 80, but maybe I can make a connection with you with that doctor because he comes in, Dr. Ryder comes in every Thursday. And I can look in my book to see if there's any appointments.
What kind of doctor is he?
He's a psychiatrist.
Okay.
So, I mean, if you wanted to meet with a psychiatrist, because here at the office, we meet with our clients as often as you may need, 1 to 2 times a week, weekly basis, bi-weekly basis, monthly basis, and then we always report to our psychiatrist, right?
Okay.
And the psychiatrist always likes to go off of what we're seeing to kind of see, this makes sense for us to make connections, you know? And he can just explore whether or not you should increase your medicine or let's see if we can work through this tough time that you're going through right now. So, I mean, I could put a referral
Yeah,
in for that. Okay.
I'm open to any suggestions, options, recommendations, whatever's gonna help you.
If
I'm
you want to
open
just sign this release then, so that way I can, this gives Dr. Ryder permission to connect with Dr. Cope.
Okay.
And since he's the one who's been treating you for right now, you know what I mean? We're all in the same agency, so we can make that connection. So in terms of your mental health history, You talked about depression,
Mm-hmm.
and it's been an ongoing issue sporadically.
Mm-hmm.
So there have been times where it was really, really, you had low moments, times where you had good moments, times where you kind of battle like, am I depressed, or is this because of what I'm going through right now? Am I just sad? How are you able to separate the two? You know what I mean? Like, what's the difference for you of being
Of what
sad
I'm
and depressed?
going through and
No, being sad and being depressed. Because being sad is a normal emotion.
oh, of course.
So when does it become a problem for you? Like, you feel like, wait a second, this is not the Bernadette that I am. You know what I mean?
I'm off.
Okay, explain off to me.
I notice I'm off as far as I become cold.
Mm-hmm.
I become sheltered. I'll pull away from everybody.
Mm-hmm.
My body will let me know. My body will tell me just sleep. I don't know. My body will just tell me when I'm going through a depression. Being sad, I can wake up and be like, oh my God, I watched the movie and I'm sad.
Yeah.
Okay, but my body will tell me.
So, do you think it's fair to say that when you're sad, you have your moments of crying, but you can still function during the day?
I could still, yes.
When you're depressed, it's like
No.
you have no desire to eat, or maybe you sleep too much or don't sleep at all.
Last night, I didn't sleep at all. Sunday, all I did was sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I am, like, super tired. I'm running on fumes right now.
Mm-hmm. Well, I appreciate you coming in.
No, of course, because I when we did our last session,
Mm-hmm.
I felt like another film was lifted off my shoulders.
Well, you know, it is what it is. You know, that's what.
I felt like the session we had was good. It helped me out.
Well, that's what therapy is about. You know, it's just about helping someone ride this journey and process what's going on. To be honest with you, so I mean, in terms of your medicine, we already know that. We have the information for your doctor. Has Dr. Ryder ever prescribed? No, Ryder. Dr. Coke ever prescribed you like anything to help you sleep? Have you been taking like melatonin? Like,
No,
what do you do when you struggle?
I actually, for the sleeping part, I'm like going into this candle shit.
Okay.
So I usually buy the calm. I got like an addition to this candles. I don't know. I just love the way they smell. I bought lavender calming candles, and then my son went and got me like the lavender oils. So I'll take and I'll rub some here, here. And I'll just kind of take a nice shower, lay in the bed and sniffing the candles. And believe it or not, it'll relax me. It'll help me sleep. But then there's times where I'll drink either sleepy time tea or I'll take a melatonin, depending how bad. If I'm on a day where I'm having bad days and it's already been like 2 days that I haven't slept because I'll be up for 2 days, I'll do the melatonin. Because like, I need to go to sleep ASAP. Like, I'm so tired. I can't even, I become delusional because I'm so tired.
Yeah. And how often does that, it's like, been happening for you? Because I know you called in for your intake appointment last week. So how long before you felt like you needed to get some help? You know what I mean? Because I'm happy we were able to squeeze you in.
When I called.
Okay.
Everything just crashed at one time. Everything at one time just happened. All in one day, everything happened.
Okay. And that's what you mean is like from the job?
From the surgery, losing the job, the confirmation of the boyfriend and him dating and him and I still talking, and it just, everything was just so...
It was a lot.
It was, yeah, and it just happened right before the day of my surgery. So I have all this stuff. I'm going into surgery. I'm coming out of surgery, waking up with all this shit in my head.
Okay. Now in your house, who lives with you?
I live by myself, but my son, his girlfriend and my granddaughter are always here.
Okay. All right. At home, do you feel, this is something we ask everyone, do you feel safe at home?
Yes.
Do you feel safe in your community?
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like you, someone is out to get you
No.
or harm you?
No.
Okay. Have you ever had any suicide attempts or thought about self-harming?
I've never had any suicide attempts. I've never thought about harming, but I did think about it.
Okay. Do you want to elaborate a little bit on that, or do you want to save it for another time?
No. In my family, they're very strong Pentecostal, so
Yeah.
Suicide is a sin. You don't go to heaven. Obviously that, but there's just like whenever I would go to sleep at night, I was just like, oh my God, just please take me. I'm just so done and I'm tired and I can't deal with this anymore. As far as for me to hurt myself, no, I wouldn't. No, I have my granddaughters and I want to see them grow up.
Yeah. Well, I just want you to know.
I think it's just everybody goes through that thought of when they're emotional and they're in a tough spot.
You took the words right out of my mouth because the reality is like there are moments we're human.
Mm-hmm.
There are moments when we're like, oh, I just want to be dead already, or I wish I would just die.
Mm-hmm.
That's very different than honestly creating this plan or making an attempt. So I mean, I know while it may sound a little bizarre, like why am I even thinking like this? Or I wish I just want to wake up. You have a lot that sometimes in that moment, who wants to wake up and deal with all this drama?
Mm-hmm.
But on the plus side, you wake up, you're here, and we're gonna deal with this drama together. Okay. Now, is there any family history of mental illness or anything like that?
My mother suffers from schizophrenic and bipolar.
Schizophrenic, bipolar. Okay. Is she the only one that you know of?
No, and my niece has been diagnosed with depression. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know if
You say your niece, so is she, like, how many siblings do you have?
I have one sibling. She's actually my brother's daughter. When I said my niece. My brother has 2 children.
Okay, so you and your brother.
Me and my brother, but
and
my brother's
brother,
deceased.
Oh, okay, so your brother and you have the same mother and father.
Mm-hmm.
And your brother, when did he die?
My brother was killed.
Oh, he was murdered.
Maybe 15.
Was he murdered or just?
No, he was murdered about 15 years ago.
Wow. Did he have any mental health? So just his daughter.
Just his daughter, and I know some family members like cousins and stuff like that suffer from depression as well.
Okay. Any anxiety or anything like that?
With me?
Yeah, with him or with you or anyone.
I know my niece suffers with the anxiety.
Okay.
That I do know. My mom, we don't have a really good relationship. She didn't raise me. I was raised by my grandparents. So, I don't know about the anxiety. I mean, I do know a lot about her, but there's certain things I don't. With the anxiety with me, there is times where I suffer from anxiety. I'll get like these really bad heart palpitations where I can't breathe. Right now, I am suffering with anxiety, but my anxiety is that I don't want to leave my house. I feel safer in my house than going out.
Well, you say heart palpitations. Is that what it feels like, or is that something?
Feels like.
Or does it feel? Or you've been diagnosed with heart palpitations?
No. It's heart palpitations because I'm in the medical field, so it's heart palpitations. But I think it's just from the anxiety. Okay. And I guess when I get stressed out, my blood pressure gets really up, and it starts to give me heart palpitations.
Okay. How about any substance abuse history? Have you ever,
yes.
For you? For yourself? And
Me?
family?
Substance?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever sought treatment for that?
No.
No? So what would you say you are today in terms of?
Fine.
Have you used? What was your substance of choice?
Do we have to discuss that?
Well, we don't have to at this moment. We could always get back to it. What I can do is this. Let's leave it like this. No, we could touch base on it.
No, we can just discuss it. I've tried marijuana.
Okay.
I've tried cocaine.
Okay.
And I've tried pills.
Okay. Now, is that something that you still
no.
consuming at this point?
No.
When's the last time?
Oh, God.
How many years have you been clean and sober?
Well, for the weed, I haven't smoked weed in a while. A long time.
Like, what does that mean?
Years.
Okay.
The cocaine, that's been over 10 years. The pills, when I was with my ex, I was self-medicating myself.
Yeah. So what was the pills?
I was taking Xanax.
Okay.
I haven't taken Xanax in forever.
Okay. But you're not using anything at this point?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I was on the medication from the surgery, but it was prescribed by the doctor and I took it as directed.
And you didn't need to use it again?
No.
Okay, you're not struggling with that?
No.
All right. How about, you talked a little bit about trauma, past history with trauma, and things of that nature, right? So, I know you talked to me about your brother and your parents dying, so talk to me a little bit about that. So you say your brother died 15 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Something more or less, right?
Yeah.
How, were you close with your brother?
No.
No?
No. The last time I saw my brother, he came to Florida because my mother who raised me was really sick and she was dying, and we got into a really big fight and I threw him out of my house, and that was the last I ever said to him.
That's hard.
And then, yeah.
Did he die quickly after that, or?
Yeah, I think he died like about a year or two later.
So you guys didn't talk at all for 2 years?
No.
Okay. How about any other trauma in your house, in your life? Whether it's emotional, physical, mental, sexual.
No sexual abuse.
Sexual abuse.
I never had any sexual abuse.
Mm-hmm. Do you need a minute?
No.
I see that you're crying. So what are you thinking about
I
right
just
now?
live with a lot of guilt.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of guilt.
Mm-hmm. Because you weren't able to.
I wasn't able to have a relationship, but in a way I blame my mom because, you know, that was her favorite and she gave me up because she couldn't raise me, so we didn't have that connection, him and I.
Mm-hmm. You know something? We can revisit that if you wanted to in terms of your brother. But sometimes, you know, nobody knows the future of anything, you know? And we could definitely touch base about what we can do, because I can do an activity with you. It's called Empty Chair. And if your brother was sitting right across from you, what would you tell him?
I'm sorry.
And what do you think he would say to you? If you had 2 minutes with your brother, you would say you're sorry, and what else?
So please forgive me.
Mm-hmm.
That I love him.
Mm-hmm. Do you think he would forgive you?
I think so.
Do you think he loved you?
I think he did, because whenever I would walk around the avenue and stuff like that, and him and I wouldn't talk, and I walked around with my kids, I always stopped so he could see his nephews. Always, and no matter what. And he would always say, even though my sister and I didn't talk, wherever she was at, if she was with her kids, she stopped so I could say hi to my nephews.
So why you guys didn't have a good relationship before? I know you said that your mom favored him, but I know when you lived in Florida it was different, but now when you lived in New York, you know, was it because of the kid's father? Was it, you know, because I know you also said that you've had a lot of relationship that was very abusive.
Yeah,
that
because
one of
father
those?
was an abusive relationship. No, I was raised by my grandparents, and, you know, in his eyes, I was raised spoiled. My grandparents did whatever I wanted and gave me whatever I wanted, and my aunts, and like I was untouchable. So, you know, everybody saw me as,
That was Rachel. I'm sorry. She needs to get the paperwork.
Everybody saw me as this little spoiled brat, and I was too good, so I was kind of outcasted all the time.
Yeah, well, that does not feel good.
It doesn't feel good because, you know, I'm the black sheep, but I got a very good heart, and I'm very, very humble, and I would do anything and everything for everybody, and I only need it I'm only looking for when they need something.
Well, it sounds like that you are a very caring person and someone who makes himself available for anyone, but also feels very lonely at the same time.
I just feel very lonely.
It sounds like you could be in a room with 1 million people, but
And
still
still
feel like
alone.
ostracized. Like, who's here for me?
Mhm.
And I think you know that feeling all well too well. That's why you don't like anyone else to feel the same feeling, because it's not a good feeling to have. I get it.
So I'd rather make them feel like they're not lonely and help fill their void and just leave me empty.
Okay. Now, we also let me ask you, have you had any former or current issues with alcohol?
No, I'm not really big. Matter of fact, I got a bottle in there since last April for my birthday of wine. I'm still not even open. I'm not a very big drinker like that.
Okay.
I think when you're young, you get young and dumb and stupid, and then you get old and wise. In order for you to be old and wise, you have to be young, dumb, and stupid. And I think I've been young, dumb, and stupid.
And I think as you get old, they call you old and bold.
Some shit like that. So now it's just like, I'm boring now. Back in the days, I wasn't boring. I was outgoing, partying, clubbing. Yeah. Here, there. Now it's work, home, grandkids, Hallmark movies. You know, the boring life. I'm boring.
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with that.
No, there isn't.
There's people that wish they can have even a half of what you have.
No, it's nothing boring, because I rather go to sleep on a Saturday night and wake up Sunday morning refreshed and not hungover, waste the whole day, and then be like, oh damn, I spent all that money last night. When I could wake up fresh, nice, and just go about my day.
You know, something is interesting you say that, because it's the truth. I mean, how many times do we wake up like, we have so much fun, and then you're like in recovery the next day, right? You're like, oh my God.
And now I think one night of hanging out, it's like takes me like a week or a month of recuperation. I swear, I promise you. If I hang out one night and have a few drinks, the next day I'm dying. Oh my God, this is another drink. I'm never drinking again. Ain't that some shit?
Hey, that's life. That's what happens as we get older.
Hell yeah,
You
man,
go
man.
from, you can sleep 2 hours in a day and be on with your day, and then now it's
Yeah,
like,
before I was used to be on 2 hours of sleep and I can go. Now I don't get shut. I need 8, 10, 12 hours of sleep before I can go.
I hear you.
I'm tired. I can't wait to get home to take a nap.
So let's talk about today. So we went through a lot of questions, a lot of things about your past history and all these things, and I'm starting to see like a common pattern with you, my dear. So
Enlighten me.
well, we'll get there. We'll get there. So
I already know you're gonna talk about that I live with a lot of guilt that I haven't let go, and that's what's eating me.
well, I think that's part of it, but it'd be interesting to see what brings you here today. We talked a lot about your past, and yes, have you experienced a significant amount of trauma?
Yeah.
Absolutely. You've been able to also find ways to make it work for you. Where there's times you needed some medicine to help you go over these humps. There's times where you didn't need the medicine, but when you didn't need the medicine, you weren't engaging in services.
I wasn't engaging in services. I was just trying
So
to.
I think
fight
it's
through it.
something worth
What do
exploring.
you think?
Like,
I'm suffering from PTSD.
no, I'm just thinking that, you keep talking about this pattern of, you keep going back to what worked for you, right? So in the moment when you were in crisis, what happens? I want this Alexa and this, okay, 40 didn't work. Maybe I need 80 because I was not as bad then as I am now. You know what I mean? So I think you try to diagnose yourself, and I think you have this comfort with Alexa, which is great because it worked for you. But I think it's important that in treatment, you're always in treatment. We're always trying to work on us.
Mm-hmm.
We always want to blossom and grow. And I think the good thing about my agency is this. I want to always make myself available for my clients, right? So when you're in crisis, if we need to meet twice a week, we can. If you feel like it's after hours, there's always someone on call. I'm on call twice a week. We always have emergency hotline numbers that you can talk to. Doesn't mean you're crazy.
No,
It's
of
just
course.
someone that helps you
At that moment that you need to call
process
someone.
whatever you're thinking in the moment, whether you're upset, whether you just need to talk to about something, having a hard time sleeping, just trying to process things. The good thing about my agency that I really love is just that even when things get better for you and you're not feeling like you need to meet with some twice a week, we can meet once a month.
Oh, okay.
Almost like a refresher course. Just
Okay.
checking in, talk to
Because
me right
after,
then.
sometimes some places I notice that after you're done, that's it. That's it. They
Yeah.
don't check up on you.
Well,
check
that's not
in,
really the
nothing
goal
like that.
of my services here and the people that work under me. I want to make sure that, we continue this treatment, because what works for you today may not work for you tomorrow.
Exactly.
Or may not work for you a year from now. So while Alexa, I'm using it as an example because it's been your go-to medication, has worked for you in the past, maybe this time around you don't really need it, but you may think that because it's worked so much. So my goal here is to complete our intake, give my diagnosis of what I think, what we're going to be working off of. That may change. Remember, I'm just getting to know you. The first few sessions, we're going to get to know each other.
Okay.
And I want to help teach you coping mechanisms to help you get through your day. So things get better. Did that happen overnight? No. But I want to make sure there's enough services in place to help you over this hump. Okay? So, you called last week. You're not feeling like yourself. You told me you lost your job. You ended a relationship. And let me see. And you had a surgery.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Your surgery so far, so good.
Everything good so far.
You're going to be checking in with your primary care doctor.
Just little side effects and this and like that, but it's normal part of
Do
the
you feel like
progression,
it's
but
helped you
actually,
in the end of what you really wanted?
yeah. I'm like,
You can breathe.
I can breathe, but I'm just still congested because I have gel packs in here. I'm still impacted, which when I go Thursday to the doctors, they have to remove that from my nose.
That sounds like a lot of fun. Are you nervous?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. I was thinking about doing it here myself. No.
Oh no, that's more scary.
No. So I have to get that done so we can just clear up and then see what he says. Because when I got out of surgery, I didn't see him, and two, I was very sedated. So if I did see him, I don't remember the conversation we had. So I don't know what
You just
actually
know
did.
clarity.
Yeah, what was done.
All right. So what is it that you hope to gain from therapy? What is it that you want? Again, you talked about just being overwhelmed, not feeling like yourself, feeling down. you've been able to get out of these humps, right? Where it's like you'll go from not sleeping one day to sleeping all day to, let me push myself and clean, let me push myself and eat even if it's toast. So I'm not eating anything at all. Let me take a walk. Let me not leave my house.
I've been eating pretty okay, and
Which is
I haven't
good.
been eating for the past few days.
So, we're making some sorts of progress, and we take steps back and we take steps forward. So I'm just curious, what is it that you're looking to gain from here?
Peace of mind.
Okay.
Someone to talk to, someone outside of family that doesn't know me and that can maybe help me in a way that I can't help myself. Because sometimes somebody can see something and tell me, well, you could try it this way and do it that way, and it'll probably work that way, and maybe the way that I was doing it is wrong. I'm always open for any, opinions and advice or something if it's to help myself.
But what are you trying to help yourself towards? Because
Not being depressed.
Is it because of your breakup? Because of this loss of job?
The breakup, whatever. It's more the loss of job, because it's not like, okay, so I am the matriarch of this family. Now, if I'm not working and something goes wrong with my kids, how do I hold them down?
Mm-hmm.
I can't hold myself down.
Mm-hmm.
I can't really depend on them because they have their own families, and whatever little bit they make, I'm not going to take from them or their kids. So I always have to figure out a way.
So let me ask you another question. Have you, where are you with your bills and everything else? Because this is all new since last week. So are you up to date? Are you already falling behind?
No, I fell behind on my rent. I owe August and September. My phone is good. Like, the gas is good. I just got into this freaking thing with the Renaissance, but I paid that off. I didn't pay it off, but I just paid a few weeks extra, so I'm good. My main concern is my rent.
Okay.
And my account's in the negative, so I can't pull any money out, and I have to get it positive before they close my account.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I managed to pay some bills.
Mm-hmm. So have you connected with any local resources in the area?
My son's girlfriend, they went to Catholic Charities, and she says that you have to be there for more than a year. I know last year I was in a similar situation where they helped me out. I don't understand how they're saying that it's been less than a year. I really don't understand that. I did apply for food stamps. I'm waiting to see if I can get approved for that. I know there's this place in Worcester, and I did text my landlord so she can give me a note so I can bring to them. So I'm just waiting on her.
Yeah, because I know there's a place called RCAP that you can also go to.
Okay.
And you don't need to bring any paperwork because for the first time you go, because they just meet with you. They want to know where you are with stuff, and then they call you a few weeks after to come in with all your documentation. So it's something that you should be submitting. Because I took a client with me there because she needed some assistance with, her light bill and things of that nature. And they helped with that. But that's what they said. You don't need any paperwork right now, but we need proof after.
That's where my stress will come in. Do they normally help people, or do they turn people down?
They normally help people. I'll be honest with you, where I usually see that they can't help people is when it's closer to the end of the fiscal year. So what that means is they have a budget that goes from June to June, right?
Okay.
So their fiscal year just started a few months ago. So they have quite enough funding. But the closer you start getting to June 2020, their funds continue to deplete because they help people up to $4,000 per family. And that can be in rent arrearage, that can be, if you are behind on your light bill, water bill, things like that, they help with. So, just to throw it out there for you. So, just so that it takes some time, but I would get that process in right away. Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9 to 11. Yep. Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9 to 11. It's 191 Main Street in Worcester, Mass. That's the RCAP Solutions. You walk in there, you write your name on this list. They call you, they have you fill out this application.
You said Tuesdays and Thursdays?
Yep, from 9 to 11. As a matter of fact, before you leave here, I can give you an application. We can go connect with Rachel, and I can give you the application. So you could already have your application filled. So when they call your name, you just sit there and they'll have you come in with a group of other people into another room. They explain the whole process again, and they give you other paperwork to fill out. And then they collect it, they submit it, and they ask you to leave.
Do you know how long they take?
It says anywhere from 4 to 5 weeks.
Okay.
But you know, not all the time is 5 weeks, but what they can do is then they'll call you with, okay, this is a prospective appointment date for you. If you could come in this date, when you come in that date, that's when you bring all your documentation. Mm-hmm.
Do they go by, I mean, I know everybody's going this because they need it, but do they go like, who needs it the most first? Like, do you know if they
to be honest with you,
like
I'm
that,
not
or
sure.
just basically how the order's in?
Yes, but I think, of course, if you are at risk to be homeless, they look at that. Things of that nature. If you're about to be in the eviction process, a whole bunch of different things they look at, but they do help.
Okay.
And now is a good time to go, you know.
Okay.
So that's with that. So I know you said that you're seeking counseling just to try to find yourself and work through your depression.
Mm-hmm.
Explore whether or not we need more of Celexa. If we don't, so I'm gonna recommend that we do a medication evaluation. So you already signed a referral for Dr. Ryder. You already signed a release, so I can connect with Dr. Ryder and Dr. Koch. So they just know he can have a better understanding of all the things that he's been able to do with you up until now. So I think thinking about some of these goals, I mean, you said it very clear. I want to hope in the 90 days, we may not get it, but in 90 days, I want to hope you learn different ways to manage your depression so that your depression has minimized to where it is today. I also want to help you in the next 90 days figure out some coping strategies to help you identify self-care.
I'm willing to, anything you have to offer to suggest, I'm willing to try.
Which is good. So, Bernadette, before we leave today, I wanted to just ask you, how often do you feel comfortable meeting with me? Because I'm not 100% sure I'm going to be your clinician. I'm just taking care of the intakes today.
Is there any way that I can request for you?
You can.
Would I be able to get you? Because I just feel comfortable with you.
And you know something, I could definitely make a note that you're recommending to continue working with me. But I cannot promise you anything.
No, that's understandable.
But I can tell you that all the people that I work with are really great. But you do bring up a good point. Does it matter to you if someone is a male or a female? Hispanic or not?
Since I've already started to open up to you and stuff like that, I just hate to repeat the whole thing and be all emotional already. Like we've done this intake, you already know what I need, you already know what needs to be worked out. Now someone else, I have to repeat the whole story and go through all that crying, all that pain.
Well, let me tell you something. This little cheat sheet here, honey, of everything I've been not writing down. This helps to prevent that from happening. So whether you meet with me or you meet with someone else, if you don't have a preference of a male or a female, Spanish speaking, not Spanish speaking,